Hello everyone. In this PowerPoint, I'm going to talk about the knowledge of good and evil. In this PowerPoint, it is about the story of the Adam and Eve and the Devil. So let's learn together. Okay, power of choice. Power of choice. So God have created Adam and Eve without the powers to transgress his requirement. However, in that case, there could have been no development of character. Their survey will not have been volunteer. So God gave them the powers of choice. So, what is the power of choice here? The power to yield or withhold obedience. We know that God created our first parents, Adam and Eve. Before they resist fully the blessings from God, also God went to test Adam and Eve about their love and loyalty to God. So, the next one is about the trees of knowledge of good and evil. God placed Adam Eve in the gardens of the Adam, and also God commanded to the man. God says to the Adam, of every trees of the garden you may freely eat, but of the trees of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. We can see in Genesis chapter 2, verse 9 to 17. So God went to me that you can eat every tree, but only the trees of the knowledge of the good and evil you cannot eat. Knowledge of good has been freely given. Knowledge bad, knowledge opposite, and is precisely what in love with whom. God says good and Satan says their rule. We know that God always wants us in good things, but Satan always tries to push us in temptation. So for the next one is about the temptation of Satan. So in the picture you can see snake and Eve. The snake is represent the Satan, and our next here is Eve. Eve study ignore the Lord warning, and then Eve contact with her enemy snake, and her interest and curiosity having been awake. Here's Satan process like Satan whether even to deny the God words and also to distrust of his wisdom and goodness. That is what the Satan tried to persuade to the Eve. So how did Satan tap the Eve? So here is Eve turned the serpent word God has said. Uh, she told to the Satan, God has said, you shall not eat, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. However, Satan replied that you will not surely die. You can see in Genesis chapter 3 verse 4. And if she eats the fruits of the tree, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as God, knowing good and evil. So here is Satan want to see that if it eat this fruit, she will her eye shall be open, and she shall be as a god, and she will know good and evil. Like what is the Satan try to tap her? So for the next one is Satan tries to lose. So no knowledge of good mixed with the evil will be a blessing. Also here is the devil. He declared that he himself has eaten of the forbidden fruit, and as a result he has acquired the powers of speech. And also how Satan tried to persuade the event. He said that uh, God doesn't want you to eat this fruit because God was withholding great good, wisdom, and power, seeking to prevent for reaching a more noble development, finding greater happiness. That is what the Satan tried to tap the Eve. So here, after the Satan talk about uh, after Satan talk about this fruit, so if in her mind she decide what God had forbidden, and also she start to distract God wisdom, his wisdom. Also she cast away faith, the key of knowledge, after she heard the word from the Satan. So the next one is the distrust of God. So at the time, even eat the fruit, and also she feel fever for his power, and then she imagined herself attaining the highest state of existence, and also she became adapted to her husband Adam. At the time also, she took some of the fruit and then she eats, and also she give to the Adam, and Adam also eat it. So you will see in the Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. After they eat the fruit, then the eyes of both of them will open, and they knew that they were naked, so they sewed fig leaves together and make a loin clothes for themselves. That is after they eat the fruit. So the result of the distrust of God. What is the result? So here, they became the sinners, brought into the world a knowledge of evil, opened the door to every species of falsehood and error. Also, they might become like confused, their matter and spiritual power napped, and also they no longer appreciate the good that God has so freely given to them. So the next one, the sentence pronounced the emperor the Satan. And I shall put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, and he will bruise you in the head. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. All that had been lost by yielding to Satan could be regained through Christ. Humans should stop following the Satan knowledge of evil. Instead, human could be regained through Christ, so that human could be regained through Christ if humans stop following the Satan knowledge of the evil. God's love, as far as the event extends, the voice of our Father is heard, warning his children to forsake the evil and inviting them to resist the good. This God loves. And the last power is freedom of choice. So here is God give the man moral freedom. Freedom involves making right or wrong decision. Every right decision we make increase our freedom. Every right decision we make increase our freedom. Every wrong decision we make reduce our freedom, seize and rule our lives. So we have to remember freedom of choice. Okay, I hope you will learn something in this PowerPoint, and also thank you so much for your time.